What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today, we've got some fantastic topics for you guys. Go ahead and get into the first article here. The Nintendo Switch sees its biggest restock in Japan this week. So Japanese consumers have been hit by the worst Nintendo Switch shortage. For months, thousands of eager customers have lined up outside of stores for hours in the hopes of winning a chance to purchase a Nintendo Switch during its weekly lotteries. Now, back in June, Nintendo apologized for the shortage, Japanese consumers, and I think worldwide as well, just generally apologizing overall, and promised to bump up the production to the Japanese market in addition to worldwide. Now, this week's restock shown that Nintendo definitely delivered on that, and they had a good amount of Switch units in stores. So Japanese website SwitchSoku has reported that a huge surge of Nintendo Switch replenishments this weekend. According to the report, retailers such as Bic Camera and Yodobashi Camera have received between 100 to 1,000 units at different locations. Now, lotteries are still being organized across the country, as the 200 units a Bic Camera received wasn't sufficient enough in one of the areas, and there was over 2,000 people in the crowd. Now, as part of the huge replenishment for the Nintendo Switch, the popular neon and pink Joy-Con colors, the green and neon. So if Nintendo is able to keep this pace up, I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to meet demand and, of course, increase the Nintendo Switch sales numbers. So I want to talk about this just a bit because Nintendo did apologize for that, and there have been major stock issues in various parts of the world. The two biggest being Japan and, of course, the US. Now, I always take snaps of pictures of the replenishments that Nintendo Switch gets in different stores, and they go really quick. Japan is even worse. You got people lining up just to get these things. So the thing that I want to say here with this is that Nintendo is obviously seeing that, and they're able to secure more units, and it seems like even after Splatoon 2's launch, there are more units coming in. So the Media Create sales charts this upcoming week should be pretty interesting. Now, one of the big things with the Nintendo Switch as far as replenishing the stock, one of the things that we heard about is that Foxconn, the manufacturer, is building a huge, like $10 billion plant in the US or something like that. So it seems like something is happening behind the scenes in order to get more units freed up. Otherwise, this would have never happened. It obviously doesn't happen at the snap of a finger. There has to be things set in motion. This is logistics, so large scale operations here. Obviously, Nintendo, Apple, and various other manufacturers are all kind of competing for the same units that make their devices as far as mobile and things like that. So it's good to see that stuff is improving, and that's the biggest thing. People were worried that things wouldn't be improving, but it's definitely improving because, of course, if you looked at the sales for the Media Create, went from 30,000, I think, or so, all the way up to 100,000, so an additional 70,000 units, and its highest since launch. I think the second highest total that we've had since the launch of it was right before the global test fires for Splatoon 2, where the Nintendo Switch sold around 70,000 units plus. So this is the highest one since that point, and of course the highest since the original launch. So overall, pretty good. Looks like Nintendo is securing more units out there, and things should be interesting going forward, as Nintendo can hopefully satisfy the huge market that there is. And you see decline, right? You see the shift in numbers. Obviously, PS Vita used to get a lot of those sales, 20,000, 30,000 a week, but since Nintendo Switch came out, all of that has just kind of went the other way. People are really seeing it as a true successor to the Vita, as it is a dedicated portable in addition to a home console. So let me know what you guys think about this. Excited that Nintendo is going to be boosting up manufacturing and getting more units out there. I would love to hear you guys' opinions in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next article here, there is a rumor going around that Ubisoft is planning to lower the price for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle before launch. So this comes from a website called Nintendo Soup, and they are reporting that Ubisoft is planning to reduce the price of their highly anticipated Nintendo Switch game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle a month before it launches. Now, this information comes from an anonymous source who is currently working at Ubisoft. We have reviewed the documents provided by the source and have confirmed the authenticity according to Nintendo Soup. And according to the source, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is about to see a price drop of about $10 US. That would reduce the suggested retail price from $59.99 to $49.99. The price drop would be effective before launch. This would be a little bit of a surprise, as the Switch is a very hot system. It's getting great games every single month, but at the same time, I mean, it's still a game that looks really good and looks like it fits the premium price tag of $60, and I think people would buy it at $60. But I'm thinking that Ubisoft is like, okay, look, we're going into a competitive September. There's obviously going to be quite a number of third-party games. There's going to be other stuff going on. If we get this thing at 50, if this is true, Ubisoft is probably thinking we can sell X amount more units by putting it at this price. Because when you put it from 60 to 50, that automatically increases people's awareness to buy this game. It almost becomes somewhat of an impulse buy, or that Wii era. I almost think of it as like that. And then if you're part of any type of rewards or program like that, like the Best Buy Gamers Club, you get it for $40. So you even get it for cheaper, and that pretty much becomes an impulse buy for a lot of Nintendo Switch fans who have Best Buy Gamers Club. So that's what I'm thinking Ubisoft is doing, and the game is tiny. It's like 2.3 gigabytes. They're not spending a crazy amount of money on voice acting or on huge cinematic set pieces. It's just a standard game that you would have seen back in the day. You know, it seems like a very fun and gameplay focused game, but definitely not a super expensive game to develop. So maybe they crunched the numbers and said, hey, we think we can sell X amount of units more if it's at $50 compared to $60, especially with the type of games that are coming up pretty soon here and positioning it in the market. So I would think that, yeah, that would definitely boost up sales hundreds of thousands of units on day one if they did do that, and they can still be profitable selling the game at $50 instead of $60. And like I said, all this is contingent on this being true. Remember, it is a rumor. It is not 100% confirmed or anything like that. It could still be $60. So make sure you keep that in mind. Take it with a pinch of salt at this point. But it does seem like something as far as leaks go from Ubisoft. A lot of stuff has been leaked before. That company sometimes has issues keeping the lid on the leaks, so maybe this is true. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And for those who are on the fence, does the $50 price tag, if it turns out to be true, make this more of a buy for you? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Alright, and moving on to the main topic here. It looks like Monolith Soft is looking for an action planner with knowledge of online games and medieval/fantasy settings. Xenoblade developer Monolith Soft recently posted an interesting job listing on its website. The company is recruiting a game planner for its main branch in Tokyo. This person hired would be involved with creating specifications of characters and actions, design, draft, and construct battles and rules. Overall, Monolith Soft wants someone who has experience with developing action games. Monolith Soft highlights the following as important points for the potential hire: those with much knowledge of online games, those with much knowledge of medieval and fantasy settings, and those with much knowledge of trends, pop culture, and entertainment in overseas countries. Now, Monolith Soft is currently working on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch, so this job listing is likely for their next game, which Monolith Soft always starts up on their next games well before their current games are finished. So it does seem like their next game is going to go back to the formula of the online gameplay, but I doubt they're going to work on Xenoblade, in my opinion. I feel that this is probably going to be a brand new IP that they're going to be working on. Monolith Soft has been the standout company, in my opinion, for Nintendo. The company that might not necessarily get all the sales out there, but for what they're given and what they do when it comes to their games, the marketing, some of the issues that they've had with Xenoblade Chronicles, I think they do a fantastic job. Not only that, but they help out with Nintendo when it comes to Zelda and other games as well. They're obviously one of my favorite studios out there, and they make fantastic games. I would love to see them go back into that arena of online, because Xenoblade Chronicles X was a valiant effort, but there was just some issues here and there. But it was a pretty good online system when it came to things. Now, Monolith Soft created from scratch on-screen notifications, invites, all of these things. So I'm hoping that if they have a system like the Nintendo Switch, they can kind of do things a little bit better when it comes to that, especially when this game would be released, because if this was to be a new IP being released, it probably wouldn't come out till 2019 at the earliest. So I think by then Nintendo's online would be far more advanced than what it is right at this point, because the online is officially launching with everything in 2018, and of course Nintendo's going to add on features and make the system better, as they've been been doing since the launch of the Nintendo Switch back in March 2017. So I do feel that if they did take another crack at it, it could be something amazing, but I feel that they would have to make sure that they had that single player experience too. So make it a little bit more, make it bigger and better than Xenoblade Chronicles X. Give us that Xenoblade Chronicles experience and give us that Xenoblade Chronicles X gameplay when it comes to online, and put it into one, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 doesn't have online. They really focused on the story and the combat, and I'm completely fine with that, as there's many online games for the Nintendo Switch from Nintendo this year. ARMS, Splatoon, Mario Kart, there's too many. I don't even have the time to play all of these games online. And I still play Smash Brothers as well, so I'm okay with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 not having any online multiplayer. But for the next title, with more time and with someone that has a little bit more experience, I think they can create something amazing. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Are you excited for potentially what Monolith Soft could be doing? And what's your favorite Monolith Soft title? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I personally, my favorite Monolith Soft title is Xenoblade Chronicles, the original on the Wii. I think that is an amazing game, but Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has a good chance at passing it based on what we've seen so far. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say as far as your favorites. So let me know what you guys think about all the topics that we discussed in this video here. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs, in addition to YouTube. Also make sure you check out our Patreon page, pledge any tier, and be entered in to win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and $10 prize eShop tournaments from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, ARMS, and more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.